to impress. And while the chemicals were killing me, it never left you stealing me. I feel your divinity in my vicinity whenever I am depressed or under duress. And I know my abilities you've been giving me. Lyrically, spiritually, I am blessed. Gates is not the only bill that I've been observing, and not the only bill that I find kind of disturbing. Let's go back to the year 1986 and meet the 99th Congress. What a bunch of dicks. They came up with H.R. 4456, the Child Vaccination Act. And here's a wild, fascinating fact. If your company that you own and they supply the vaccine, somebody died, nobody gets tried in a court of law at all. Problem solved. No retribution, no legal solution. You all scot-free. Watch me. Hop on a plane with Mr. Epstein. Now boarding the Lolita Express. Whoa, look over there, man. Is that Eminem and Stephen Colbert? And look, it's the two Bills, Clinton and Gates. Oh man, and they look like they're hitting on that girl that we met on the plane. The one that was with Ghislaine. I think her name was Courtney. Shit, she's only 14. We need to get the fuck up out of here. I got nothing left to confess. There's nobody here I need to impress. And while the chemicals were killing me, it never let you stealing me. I feel your divinity in my vicinity whenever I am depressed or under duress. And I know my abilities you've been giving me. Lyrically, spiritually, I am blessed. I'm blessed. Now, let's say that you've got a foundation and almost all your donations, they're directed toward the containment of a particular contagion. And one of your experts, he's kind of grouchy, his name is Mr. Fauci. He comes up with an equation. Fear plus persuasion equals the creation of a frightened nation whose panic and lack of education and only wanting just some protection from this agent of infection, they head in your direction and they ask Mr. Bill for their injection. Wanting just protection from this agent of infection. Why don't you go get your shine box? Your direction. Go get your fucking shine box, Tony. Injection. I got nothing left to confess. There's nobody here I need to impress. And while the chemicals were killing me and never left you stealing me, I feel your divinity in my vicinity whenever I am depressed or under duress. And I know my abilities you've been giving me. Lyrically, spiritually, I am blessed. I'm blessed. Dear Bill, I wrote you, but I keep getting returned to sender. I've even tried your wife Melinda, but she's putting a block on my calls. There's a rumor she might have a cock and balls. I apologize for the cursing. I guess you two are never in the same room at the same time, so people think you might be the same person. But anyway, fuck it, man. What's been up? How's the vaccine biz? I know you wish that everybody was on board like Maxine is. Oh, guess what? My wife's pregnant again. You remember Myrtle? Yeah, I always seem to wind up with the skanks. And what's up with you having 3 kids? I thought Melinda was infertile and you were shooting blanks. And what's up with all these tanks? I see them being transported on a train. Is that for martial law? This shit's getting insane. You remember when I met you in New Delhi and you were complaining that it was really smelly? Well, I asked you if it was safe getting that polio vaccine and you said I was making a great decision. Yeah, well, my daughter's okay, but my son Micah, he lost his vision. Yeah, it's been some time and a lot of tears now. And Micah, he's been blind for years now. He's gotten pretty good at walking with a cane, though. Anyway, hit me up, yo. I got nothing left to confess. There's nobody here I need to impress. And while the chemicals were killing me and never left you stealing me, I feel your divinity in my vicinity whenever I am depressed or
Well, hello everybody, and welcome to the Monday catch-up. So I've decided we're going to do these Mondays and Fridays, and then we'll have the religious chat, the Patriot Bible study on Saturdays. I think that's how we're going to do it, because once a week is not enough. Twice a week probably isn't enough either, but at the same time, you got to give me a little bit of leeway here, because what were we doing? Were we doing it 5? Yeah, we were doing it 5 nights a week plus Saturday. That was 6 nights a week. That's a lot of chatting to talk about politics. Maybe for somebody who enjoys the game, who thinks it's a game, who's willing to say, it's just, there are those people that like the right versus left, and it's like a sport to some people. That's not me. To me, it pisses me off when I see things happening in the real world, and you know how that's going to turn out for whatever reasons. I'm a man of faith, so I believe certain things are only going to get worse because it's, predicted or prophesized or whatever you want to call it. And then, being somebody who loves freedom, seeing it eroded. Even with your man or our man in office, right? Even when Trump was in office, or still is in office, I guess, right? Even with him, let's take the guns first and due process second. That pisses me off. So having it 6 nights a week or 5 nights a week, it was too much. 2 nights. I think I can do 2 nights. Let's shoot for Monday nights at 7 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, which is right now, and also Friday nights. It's 2 times a week, and then we'll still have our Patriot Bible study. Cool? All right, let's plan on that. Sorry I'm late, says George Washington. You're not late. You're right on time. Thank you very much for being here. I appreciate you. You're stream hopping. I've done that many a time. Well, thank you for stopping by. Hopefully you're still here. If you pop out, thank you for joining. And welcome, Mr. President. I did copy that Armed Archangel. I will be talking about that at the end. I haven't vetted it, so I don't know if it's real or fake news or what, but we'll look at it. Broken Patriots in the house. I saw that you got a new intro. I wasn't able to watch the entire video. I do apologize, Broken Patriot, but you wouldn't believe what I have to do in order to get this all running. Mule Team visiting. What? Hold on, I gotta pause with the comment reading. It says, hi, Russ and Heidi. Well, hello, Mule. How are you doing, Steve? Motherfucker. All right. No BS, just checking and y'all going live. Yeah, Matt Zoo. So that's what I want to do. I want to do Mondays and Fridays. How's that? And then we'll still do Saturdays as well. Sounds good. Sweet. Yeah, because I do other things too, if you guys weren't aware. I know I've mentioned this quite a few times, but I also have a gaming channel, and I've been devoting a lot of time into it right now. Go check that out if you're into gaming, and you can watch a gaming channel that is, conservative in nature, is not going to have, some issues. Like I watch some gaming channels. My daughter got me into watching Jacksepticeye. I don't really watch him anymore, but at the time I'd watch him, with her, and I'd just be shaking my head at some of the comments, right? You don't have to do that if you like watching somebody play games. And I think I'm getting better at it. What do you think?
You are.
Little girl thinks I'm getting better at it. I'm having a good time, and that's the main thing, right? Well, having a good time doing the play-in, editing, and all the social medias. Anybody want to do that for me? Broken Patriot, you got some time on your hands. I'm just joking. The one bleed red, white, and blue, and those riding the waves. Hold up. I need to go back. Trump president. We'll read later. Yes, all medical is just a controlled test. Many side effects. It's all a scam. The one bleed red, white, and blue. Those are riding the waves. Remember when I suggested we do this on the dragon? Do what? go down to 2 nights a week? Tell me, Mule, what did you suggest? You want to come on in? I can set that up right now. We can have a multiple chat. I mean, I want to talk about Black Rifle Coffee and Kyle Rittenhouse, but I mean, other than that, we can talk. That'd be fun. I miss the dragon, bro. That was a lot of fun. I would love to do it again. You want to fire it up?
War Drums is here too. The ears are burning.
War Drums? We might. You know what? I might just start it up. Is the dragon still around? I got keys. I'll set it up. What's up, War Drums? How are you doing? We had fun. Heck yeah. Wow. Anyone low crawling though, ice cold mud doing the things. George Washington with the words that I understand not. Anyone low crawling through the ice mud during the thing, doing the thing. Oh,
sounds like he's belly crawling through some ice cold mud.
Yeah, that I don't want to do that. That doesn't sound like fun at all. What's up, Irish? Well, I'm waiting for Tactical Tony right now. By the way, I was watching. Okay, one of the things that I do, well, we did on Twitch, because I stream on Twitch for the other channel, right? And I think it was Sunday. Me and Riddle Girl decided to go ahead and do some Twitch sings. And one of the songs that we decided to sing was Boy George, well, it was Culture Club. Do you really want to hurt me, right? And I'm watching the video of this, and I haven't seen the video for that song since probably the 90s or older. It's been a long time, right? First of all, they have blackface in that music video.
Does it matter that the people that were wearing the blackface were black?
Some of them. You said some of them weren't.
Some of them were not, but I mean, the majority of them were. There was like 12 jurors.
Yeah, they were jurors. Anyway, I'm looking at Boy George in this video, and I'm like, man, that looks like Tony. Oh my goodness. CWW, I didn't forget about our deal, working cash flow up. What deal? Apparently I forgot about our deal, Matt, and I apologize. You don't need us, bro.
The oil cans. I forgot.
Oh yeah, I forgot that too. Don't worry about it, man. I forgot about it. Yeah.
Armed Archangel said he liked your Hitman gameplay, so it was funny as hell.
Who says that?
Armed Archangel.
Sorry, I missed that one. Wow, Armed Archangel actually watches my gaming channel. That's cool, bro. Yeah, Hitman is a game, obviously. Fun as hell. And can be hilarious. Just, I don't know why, but that game is really easy to make funny. And I tweeted out some funny clips that didn't even make it into the final episode just because it was hilarious. And I thought, well, you know what? Instead of just throwing these funny moments away, let me go ahead and tweet them out. So you can check those out if you want to, too. Sweet. Whoops. What happened there? Hold on 1 second. That's not it. There we go. You don't need us. Believe me. I don't know about that. First of all, here's the thing. Y'all have great opinions, right? Mule Team's got a good opinion. Irish has got... We all have our own opinions. We all have our own train of thoughts. I am not an educated person. I have my opinion, but a lot of the times, my opinion's wrong, you know? And if it wasn't for you guys, I'd still be thinking 9/11 was, totally, exactly what they said, most likely. So I appreciate your guys' input, and I think a lot of people did too. I think that's why it worked. I mean, it got to the point where it was more of a fun hangout just for friends kind of thing. But as a structured thing, not even that structured, not even really structured, right? Because that was the beauty of the Dragon. If it can just be like, today's topic is Kyle Rittenhouse and Black Rifle Coffee, go, If I know that before the chat, let's say somewhere in the beginning of the day or even a few hours before the chat starts out, I can look up things and I might be able to form an opinion, and then I'll be like, well, check out this or check out that, right? And my take on this whole thing might be different than anybody else's take. Somebody might want to say, well, I ain't never drinking Black Rifle Coffee ever again because they're a bunch of losers and they're a bunch of turn coaching. And I might not be that way. I haven't even formed my opinion on that yet. Mule, true dat, Reb. I'm dark now. Just stop by. Yeah, I'm turning off the lights slowly. If that's a thing. Muzzle brake. I do have muzzle brakes. Thanks for stopping by. I miss you, Mule. Hell yeah. We need the dragon back. I am looking at the Rust game. Ooh. I've been playing the Rust and DayZ a lot. Oh, is that a game? The Rust game. Riddle Girl, you want to write that down somewhere so we can check that out? I am looking at new games to play. Another game that's been a lot of fun is Watchdogs Legion. I did not think I didn't know anything about this game. I just knew that it was new, it was popular, and it was a lot of money. And I bought it, and I've been absolutely loving it. It's set in London, so me driving on the wrong side of the road has caused much hilarity. Second of all, another one, other than that though, I got given the keys to this game for free from the developers because I had some subscribers or whatever, was Liberated. And I'll tell you what, Liberated is like one of the coolest games I've played in a long time. And it's a side-scrolling platformer, right? There's not really any free will in it. You play it and it's basically... But here's the thing. It's done in a comic book style, which I think is really pretty. It's like a noir kind of... Anyway, it's all about a dystopian future where the government is... It's like 1984, bro. It's really good. It's very topical in the moment that we find ourselves living in right now. Black Rifle Coffee is weak. I prefer Blackout Coffee. Well, I enjoyed Black Rifle Coffee. In fact, they were the only coffee company that I have had decaf coffee from that I actually liked, which is sad. Nobody wants businesses attacked by BLM. It was a calculated move. Says Black Rifle Coffee. You name your company Black Rifle Coffee, and you're worried about some sort of cancel stuff from Black Lives Matter? Wait, what? See, that's what I don't understand, Matt. Why would they care? They already named their company Black Rifle Coffee. I don't know. It's that like Serious Sam? Is that like Serious? I have no idea what Serious Sam is. Looking at Rust on Steam, looks like you start out butt naked. I could see dude's junk. Oh, that's fun. A lot of fun with blurring on that. I do try to keep that channel politically... If you watch Liberated, you won't know that because I do put my little comments in there, but I try not to talk politics on there and I don't cuss. Now, the game will cuss, and I've allowed that in there because if I try to edit out all the cuss words from Watchdogs Legion, I'd be on that all day long. It's like everybody in the background is yelling cuss words, and some of them I don't even know are cuss words because it's in Europe, right? So they got their own different one. Decaf isn't coffee, it's flavored water. There you go, I agree. Well, as I said, it was like the best decaf I'd ever had. They would storm their company. BLM would storm their company. Well, I mean, if you're okay with it, personally, if they've come out and they've had a response. I have not heard the response yet. We're going to hear that together. Or at least I'm going to hear it for the first time. And I'm gonna make my opinion as we go along. So first and foremost, Guns and Gadgets did a story on it, so we're gonna watch that.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Guns and Gadgets, your premier source for Second Amendment news, second video of the day. And this is only because of the sheer amount of messages and DMs that I got where people are saying, we want to hear from you, we want to hear your opinion on this. Not that I think my opinion means anything in this world, however, we've all been following what's going on with Black Rifle Coffee Company and how they, at least business-wise, distanced themselves from Kyle Rittenhouse. You all have seen the picture. We have Kyle Rittenhouse with one of his attorneys and Ricky Schroeder. He happened to be wearing a Black Rifle shirt. And you've seen the stuff that's followed since. Now, I'll give you a couple thoughts. Again, this is just my opinion. My opinion in the grand scheme of things means nothing. But people wanted to know it, and I do have some concerns. In fact, I just posted on Instagram, which has some people buzzing as well. But we'll go over that here. So first off, Evan Hafner, the CEO of Black Rifle Coffee Company, thank you for your service. 20 years in the military, many years in special forces, and even served as a CIA contractor. Thank you for your service. Before any of the drama, that's what matters, so thank you. Now let's get into the drama, I guess. So I've seen the video that they have posted on the company's website, like their official.
For my military audience, and I know I got some of you in here. For my military audience, do you still thank somebody for their service if they are a turncoat? Honest question. Do not know. Right? Like Hitler was a person that was in the military, right? I think before he was the leader. Do you thank him for his service? Or, if you were a German at the time? Do we have an American example of this? I don't really know. Benedict Arnold. Do we thank Benedict Arnold for his service? Do we? Honest question.
Their official statement on this, and I've also just got to see the interview he did with Dana Lash. I think it was today. So what they're saying is that they distanced themselves from Kyle so that they didn't want to seem like they were profiting off of Kyle's situation. And that sent a whole bunch of people into a tailspin, and unfortunately cancel culture kind of developed. Now I'll say, yes, first off with transparency, yes, I do work with Blackout Coffee Company, totally different company. They're not related at all. Black Rifle is huge. And a lot of people have been saying, Jared, the company you work with, they shouldn't have done that. Totally different company, guys. In fact, I know John, the owner of Blackout Coffee, the one that I've been working with for a couple of years, he's been addressing those concerns as well. So if you're one of those people that shot off on them thinking that they're the same company, they're not. Go easy on the guy. He's getting a lot of heat from something he's not even related to. So yeah, the cancel culture thing. A lot of people have been for what I think is a valid reason, but is it a reason for me to say that, Black Rifle Coffee Company should be dead to me? I don't know, and let's talk through this. So, for me, Black Rifle Coffee Company has made a lot of money. They're very prominent in the gun culture, the gun community. And even in Evan's own words, he was selling his coffee to gun shops in the early stages of the company because those were the only places that would buy his coffee. And obviously they blew up. I mean, they're $80 to $100 million a year company now. But what seems to have people feeling icky about this is they've distanced themselves in the public persona, the public view of this. They've distanced themselves from the most prominent 2A defend yourself case in the country right now. They've pulled away from it, and they say that they're pro 2A, and they do a hell of a lot of work with veterans and stuff like that. But it just looks ugly, right? The timing, all of that, and I'm not standing up for him. I don't know. I've never even met Evan. I mean, I've had their.
All right, Bikes. Where's Folgers and U-Ban on this topic? First of all, U-Ban, you want to talk Broken Patriot? If coffee don't make your heart skip a beat, then it's not good enough. Speaking of U-Ban, I had to make a trade with Broken Patriot. Sorry, we didn't give it. We made a trade for it. Some of my U-Ban that I'd gotten from Sam's Club because, oh my goodness, that stuff. I did not feel good after drinking that coffee. It was, for anybody who smokes or has smoked, do you remember your first ever cigarette and how bad you felt after smoking that? That's how I felt after drinking U-Ban for the first time. I was like, nope, can't drink this anymore. That's way too much for me. As far as where are they at, you know what? I don't know. We drinking Dunkin' Donuts right now, which is fine. I'm just saying, I've had Black Rifle coffee. Their decaf was pretty good. They're pretty expensive. A lot of people want to spend money on people who support them, and I get that. And I've done that, and I've bought that from that company before. However, it's not the only. I won't only drink that coffee, right? I'm not that on board. There is a reason this is a story. It's created to cause chatter. There is such a thing as bad publicity, though, Bikes. White Devil just stopped my auto order. BRC, Black Rifle Company. You can auto order it? Well, I'm not surprised, to be honest. What's up, JPTV? I drink maca root and apple cider vinegar. That real energy. Wow. I don't know if I know of maca root. Apple cider vinegar I know of. Hello, BP. I've always said I will never wear advertising stuff for a company. No? I will if they want to pay me. But I'll be the first one to bounce if they do something shady. Like if I was sponsored by Black Rifle Coffee, I wouldn't be... well, I don't know. I haven't made up my mind yet. Or at least I'm trying not to make my mind up yet. Dunkin' Donuts coffee is pretty good. It is. I like it. It's pretty good. That's me on the first dip. Yeah. Yeah, if you dip, it's the same thing, right? The first time you ever dip, the first time you ever used tobacco, it made you sit down. And that U-band made me want to sit down and go to sleep and wake up with the feeling gone. That's how wired I was. If we are going to let the elite steal the election, we will let them do whatever they want. There you go. We're going to get to that here in a minute, too. What's up, Bri? How are you doing?
Coffee years ago. I've never met him. I don't know him. I'm not standing up for him. But the optics of this just looks terrible. To make it worse, I was sent numerous pictures and screenshots of, and I'll put them up here on the screen. I put them on my Instagram, of some donations that Evan has made in his name as the CEO.
I have watched this video. Okay, but there is more to the story. But after watching this video, I was like, you know what? Maybe I should not continue to look into this until I've made up my decision on here. But this is who Black Rifle Coffee, as a company, have donated to. John McCain. Quite a few times here. He's supposedly a conservative, or was, right? Supposedly. Dude was the biggest rhino we had in Arizona. But, you can at least say he was a Republican or had an R in his name. But then we have Obama for America, McCann for Nevada, and Tulsi Ola. Interesting.
Of Black Rifle Coffee Company. And the big ones, if you're in the political environment and you know
I'm not
some
a Trump
stuff,
supporter,
the big ones right away that catch your eye is obviously Barack Obama and Act Blue. If you're not familiar with what Act Blue is, Act Blue funnels money to really progressive leftist Democrat candidates and nonprofits. It raises money for very progressive left-leaning candidates.
Wow.
And that's the problem that I have personally.
Hold on. Let's go back just a little bit. Act Blue. Where was that on this list? Where was Act Blue? You see Act... Maybe it wasn't on this list. Maybe it's a different one. Must be. Right? Contributed information. Yeah, I don't see Act Blue on here. Must be somewhere else.
Really progressive leftist Democrat candidates and nonprofits. It raises money for very progressive left-leaning candidates. And that's the problem that I have personally. If you make... I don't know his amount that he makes from gun folks, but I would venture to guess, I would feel safe guessing that most of their income comes from the Second Amendment community. Yeah, probably a safe bet to say.
I don't think liberals are drinking
Black
Rifle coffee.
But then you're donating to the ultra left-leaning progressives.
JPTV, do you drink Black Rifle coffee?
Who want to take the guns from American citizens. And that's where I have a problem. And maybe it's just optics. Maybe it is. Maybe it's just semantics. Does he have to be a Republican? No. He can be a Democrat. And many people that I know are Democrat, and a lot of people have issues with people who vote Democrat yet say they're pro-2A because the Democrat Party for the last 12 years has said we're coming for your guns, right? And that's a whole different story. There's been many videos on that. But to make all that money from the gun community, from the gun culture, and then to distance yourself from the biggest 2A case in the country right now, and then it comes out that you've donated to anti-gun folks, Obama, and groups, Act Blue, it's concerning. And on Dana Lash's show, he came out and said that he donated to Obama because he lost a bet, and he donated $500 to Obama because of that lost bet. To which I say, I don't know. Do I believe in that? I don't know. You know, some people say, did he donate to conservative people?
And I
did see
and had to donate to Obama.
Donations to
that other
John McCain.
Place, right?
Some people consider John McCain conservative.
Right.
But the bigger thing is like to donate it to Tulsi Gabbard. She's not really a pro-gun person. In fact,
all right, so we got a new person in the house. Autumn Fragrance, how you doing?
Not new. Autumn Fragrance has been in before.
Oh, has she? Sorry, Autumn. I apologize. Rittenhouse needs to be made an example. Long prison term where he'll learn the hard way that BLM. Yeah, I suppose if he went to prison, he would learn the hard way, if you know what I mean. About BLM. Yeah, probably. I mean, the boy ain't got much. Maybe he'd get swole. I don't know. You're either going to go one way or the other in prison. Give or take, honestly. How do those communists find us? I don't know. Hey, man, it's tags, most likely. You're welcome to be here. I have an opinion. If you think Kyle Rittenhouse is guilty, by all means, there's a link down below you do not have to donate to if you don't want to. I don't mind Autumn Fragrance being here. If she's actually, well, first of all, if you're actually a lady, I don't mean to assume your gender. And also, if you're serious about Rittenhouse needing to be made an example of, then that's great. That's an opinion. I don't mind differing of opinions. That's fine. I mean, keep it respectful. I try to keep my opinion respectful, and I want everybody to keep their opinion respectful. As long as you do that, you're more than welcome in this chat. That's why JPTV might get timed out a lot, but he's still here. He's still here. Why defending his life? Why for defending his life? Well, now see, Broken Patriot, I understand that that's a difference of opinion, right? People who were not brought up with firearms or not brought up to the fact that you have a right to defend yourself might not like it that he went there in the first place with the firearm to start with, even though he was helping people out. A lot of people, and I don't know about Autumn Fragrance, but a lot of people don't learn about why he went there. They just know that he was there and that he had a firearm, and they think maybe because they were told, I don't know, but I would assume they think that he went there to shoot somebody, right? And that's not really the case. And yeah, so we have a difference of opinion on that. Kyle wouldn't have been there if those BLM idiots weren't burning down the town. JPTV and Autumn Fragrance, would your opinion change if it was a home invasion and he used a parent's rifle defending his life and killed someone? Bikes, because he shot and killed somebody. Bikes. Where's Bikes? You forgot to mention why Rittenhouse had to leave the scene. Yeah. What's up, Irish? Freedom isn't free? No, I mean, you're going to pay for it one way or the other, right? I'm doing a lot of things that are constitutionally allowed that might not be, well, let's just not go there. But, you got to make that choice. You're going to live free? Are you going to live truly free, or as free as you can? Or are you going to be a law-abiding whatever? Insert name here. And tried to run back into the crowd like he didn't shoot the dude in the head. Okay, JP, now that's a falsehood, okay? There are plenty of reports and video evidence of Kyle going to the cops with his hands up, and there's reports of him saying, hey, I just shot somebody, and the cop telling him to move along and get out of the way, or he's going to get pepper sprayed or something to that effect. Don't tell me that. And then he turned himself in when he got home. Yeah, he's a... Okay.
Remember when she was running for the Democrat Party's nod for the presidential primaries? She's not a gun person at all. And he said he being Evan Hafner, he said he donated to her because she was getting railroaded by her own party, and he always preaches veteran, support for veterans and stuff like that, so he donated to her cause. But yeah, he donated to an anti-gunner. And he donated to Act Blue, anti-gun. Act Blue has a way on their website to funnel money and to donate to BLM. And there's not a lot of people out there that'll say BLM is a pro-gun entity right now. There's just, like I said, it just, semantics-wise, it looks bad, and it makes you feel weird, icky, Again, it's no skin off my back how Evan Hafner spends his money or whatever, but, to make all that money on the gun community and then to give money to people who want to take that from us just doesn't look good. So that is my opinion of it for what it's worth for those who wanted it. There it is. Let me know what you think down below. Have I lost my mind? I mean, it is America.
All right, we got more of that to look at. Not his channel, but other ones as well. That's not Kyle's situation. It says a guy shooting a pistol 30 feet away, which is why I think Kyle looked around, right? Is that the official story? Is most dangerous. A Como, a thief, and a rapist walk into an AR. That was definitely not Kyle's situation, though. Your assessment is dishonest at best. Think hard about the dynamics. So we can at least agree that taking a life with a gun in defense of your life in your home is okay. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. We need to put a bot in play for every time somebody mentions that.
What do you want it to say?
I don't know, but
We'll figure it out and I'll put it.
you want to play a game? Check out Sneaker's Playground, where we play all sorts of kind of games. Maybe. Yes, of course. Don't forget to leave a thumbs up, says Stream Elements, obviously. Thank you, Stream Elements, for being the best bot.
Let people do what they want to. It's a free country. Have any opinion.
Exactly what I programmed.
Hey guys, as always,
All right.
Thanks for stopping by. So the Kenosha kid put a canoe down the head of a known pedophile and was bailed out of jail by Ricky Schroeder from Silver Spoon's Lonesome Dove and the My Pillow guy. He was then seen with a Black Rifle Coffee Company t-shirt. Some nitwit put an affiliate code with that pic of him in the t-shirt. Black Rifle Coffee Company said, hey, we want nothing to do with that. Y'all went nuts. I did a video on it yesterday. Y'all had a good time. I had a good time. And then Matt Best himself called me. Let's talk about that. Hey, in today's video, I'm going to tell you about the phone call with Black Rifle Coffee Company's Matt Best. I'm going to get you up to date. Some new stuff has come out even today and this afternoon about it. So I'll get you up to date. I'll tell you my opinion. And I've got a question for all of y'all at the end. I do want to hear your opinion. Today's video is notes today. I don't want to chase any rabbits, but I'm going to tell you why I think this matters. The great poet Allen Iverson said this. He said, we're talking about coffee. On some level, yeah, we're talking about coffee, but I think this issue is much bigger than this. It's certainly polarizing, and I do think it matters. To all of y'all who crushed thumbs up yesterday, I appreciate that. Every thumbs up matters. Those of y'all that felt my pain on being called, my new set being called out. Okay, love y'all anyway. We're not about
Can we get
matters,
on?
and I'm leaving this with some questions today, and because there's some things I do want to hear more about. I suspect that Black Rifle Coffee Company and those guys are so into bro-vet culture that they are now separated from regular 2A culture. There's of course, some overlaps, but bro-vet stuff is its own world. God bless them, man. Go have fun, light off machine guns and eat red meat. All that stuff is great. I'm into all that stuff too. But I feel like, my opinion is that Black Rifle Coffee Company over the last 36 hours has been a little surprised at what's gone on, and I think it's because they're that removed from regular 2A, the fight that we're in nonstop every day. And I think because of that, because they're so removed, that press release that they released over the weekend, what yesterday's video was about, I believe they pooped the bed on that one. I really do. I think they blew it with that first press release. And
Let's read the press release here. Hold on. Veteran-owned and operated coffee company, Black Rifle Coffee, exists to serve premium coffee while supporting the veteran community At the core of Black Rifle Coffee values is to support and bring awareness to the millions of veterans who have proudly served our nation, and we will not waver from that mission. The Black Rifle brand is a symbol of service, of strength, and of goodness that has carried over from our military origins. This is why we support active duty service members and veterans, prioritize veteran hiring, and advocate for individual liberty and personal responsibility. We do not support legal advocacy efforts. We do not sponsor, nor do we have a relationship with the 17-year-old facing charges in Kenosha, Wisconsin. We believe in the integrity of the legal justice system and support law enforcement officials. I don't hate that press release. I mean, if you want to keep your name out of everything, I guess. But did you need to make a press release at all? I mean, maybe. I mean, he was wearing your t-shirt, but I don't know. What do you think? Trump supporter or not? Hold on. They probably would have murdered him right then and there. Trump supporter or not? Wait, hold up. What if Kyle was black? I guarantee if Kyle was black, the media would have waited no time to come to his defense. Well, Lahel Light, I think that's how you pronounce that. I would tell you that there's plenty of cases right now of black individuals who've been shot by police, that riots have broken out where they were holding either a gun or a karambit. I saw Broken Patriot had a hard time remembering what that was called. He did post it in the comments below on his video, but yeah, it is karambit. And they still, they have no problem with that. If Kyle was black, he had probably been protected by the rioter, and they would have even supported his actions. Guaranteed. Irish, the sheeple only want their safety, and they're blind to what really is happening with idiocracy, and you'll see what you have become. Watch Idiocracy. Dude, I love that movie. In fact, I had made the GIF, and I have it ready. Okay, we're going to implement it in here somehow. I'm going to have it triggered by trigger words, I think, in the chat, that when you type in something, Brondo or whatever, it plays, because it's the whole Plants Crave Brondo scene, which is, sometimes I feel like is when I argue with JPTV3, is trying to argue that plants don't need electrolytes. You know what I mean? Let's see. Where does your freedom begin and stop? That wasn't a question. Autumn Fragrance. I am trying to find a common ground to which we can agree. It's not about how old he was or that he used a gun. Oh, okay. I missed your comment, Autumn. Kyle was not at home, and his AR-15 was an illegal straw man purchase using a government stimulus check. Well, first of all, there's nothing illegal with using your government stimulus check to buy a firearm. Many people did it. Okay, I didn't do it. I bought gold. But some people did it, and I thought about it. I just didn't need a firearm. Okay, so that's not illegal. You can totally do that. As far as the straw purchase, there is a good argument to that. I'll give you that. His friend bought him the firearm, and it is technically reported that he might have bought it for this very event. That is true. And they are going after his friend for that. We'll see what happens. I have no idea on that. I will give you that point, though. That it, at least is a likely part of what might happen. However, in the Constitution, it does not say that you don't have the right to defend your life with a firearm if you are under the age of 18. There are legal statutes in that state and in other states saying that you can't hold a firearm at 18. Well, you can't hold it until you're 18, right? Which Kyle was not 18 at the time. That is a misdemeanor. However, it doesn't cancel out the fact that you are still allowed to protect your life however you can. Okay, so, and I've said this from the get-go. If he gets convicted of anything, he'll get convicted of underage possession of a weapon, which is a misdemeanor. He probably won't even see jail. Any more jail. He already saw jail. But I doubt he'll see any jail time at all. But as far as the Constitution goes, as far as the law goes, you are allowed to defend your life with a firearm no matter what your age is. If I have a daughter, which I do, but if she was under the age of 18, still living here, let's say she's 12. She could be 12. She knew how to fire a gun at 12. If I wasn't home and she had used it on an invader at 12, she would have been legally allowed to use that firearm in the house, even though she was under the age of 18 in defense. Now, would it have been legal for her to carry that gun outside the house? Absolutely not. Not legal. Not necessarily unconstitutional, though. Right? Because as I said, in the Constitution, it has nothing to do with age. It just says shall not be infringed. Right? It has nothing to do with it. You still have a right to defend yourself, no matter what your age is. He might get busted on the under 18. That's all it is. What is an assault rifle? Have you seen the bug assault rifle? That thing is cool. I want one of those. I don't want it to kill or get killed. I carry a gun. I do it so I'm not helpless. So here's Riddle Girl's kind of touching on it. Here's my thing. Owning and carrying a firearm wherever I go, and yes, I carry wherever I go. So if you ever meet me out in public, you can guarantee I have a firearm on me. I don't care where I go. I went to Disneyland with a firearm. And you know what? I took that risk because freedom ain't free. And I know exactly what I was getting myself into if I had gotten busted with doing that. However, it's not a guarantee that you're going to come out of the situation alive. If I get mugged, there's no guarantee I'm coming out of it alive with or without the gun. The gun only gives me the extra chance. Like, there's been many a mass shooting. Many. Pick one. Church, schools, whatever. Ask those victims of that mass shooting. Would you like to have, rewind time, if you could, and give them the option to hold a gun? You might live, you might not. But now you're not totally defenseless, cowering under a table, hoping that the police will get there in time. I'd rather have the option. I'd rather have the extra percentage of a chance of possibly getting out of that with my life. And that's all a gun is. It's not going to magically save you from any bad situation. Obviously, then you got places like Vegas, where gunfire was raining down from a hotel room. What are you going to do in that situation with a gun? Not much. Especially if it's a pistol, right? Because you're not going to really conceal a rifle, most likely. So it's not a guarantee that you're ever going to get out. It just gives you an extra benefit. It gives you an extra chance. That's all. Okay. If you want to keep your company name out of stuff like this, then don't name your company Black Rifle Coffee. I know, right? Exactly, Broken Patriot. Thank you. No BS. When I seen his shirt, I shoot a brick out of my butt. I knew it was bad. Sales might go up. I like the packaging. I would have bought AR with a check. Yeah, you could have. I used my government check to buy a PC to use to make videos bitching about the government. Well, that's a good enough reason for me. They don't want the straw. They don't want straw because they lose $30. LOL. They don't care about it. Okay. Broken, did you see Trump's Uncle Tesla video? No, Matt, don't carry a gun and don't plan to. I don't live in fear. That being said, it's your right to own a gun or not. Okay, well, as I said, everybody can do whatever they want. I am not telling anybody what to do. All I want you to do is do what you want to do. And that right there is living free. Do what you want to do. As long as you're not hurting anybody else, I don't care. And I've said this before on some of my religious chats. As a Christian, do I think certain things that you might do as an individual are wrong and could be bad for you in the afterlife? Yes. If you come to me and want answers or want me to talk to you about it, I will. But I'm not going to go out and say, you're going to hell because you do this, and in the Bible it says that. Because in America, as long as what you're doing is not infringing on anybody else's rights and you're not hurting anybody, do it. If it makes you feel good, do it. I mean, obviously, if you're hurting somebody, then I have an issue with that. All right. I still trust the people are good. Don't watch the internet. Turn off the internet. Turn off the television. and just go outside. You want to get faith back into humanity, turn off the distractions and go talk to real people in the real world. That helps. Like sometimes when I have had too much of the internet, too much of all the bad news, and I just go out and I talk to some people who had not Obama, Biden. There's people along my street that have Biden signs. I talk to them. They're okay people. You got to get out of the whole television and the internet sometimes and just like talk to people like we used to back before the internet. Hi there at 45 Lives. Welcome to the chat. 45 Lives. Trump crime family. Okay, cool. Thanks. And if you trust people, do you lock your car or house doors? If you trust people, do you lock? I definitely do. I don't trust nobody. I mean, I might trust certain people, but even then I've been burnt on those sometimes.
I believe they pooped the bed on that one. I really do. I think they blew it with that first press release, and I don't think last night's press release was all that much better, although I do see where they're coming from. So it's a mess. Let me walk you through this. So over the weekend, they did release that PR and the press release, and it was pretty tone deaf. Now, here's what we didn't know, but I did confirm this in the phone call, is that when that picture, and I'll put it up right here, that picture of the Kenosha kid hit, the nitwit that posted that pic also posted an affiliate code trying to make money off of it. And I agree with this. That's where Black Rifle drew the line and they said, hey, this is not our doing. It's one of our reps that, yes, that is an affiliate code for us, so we did not do that. Yeah. And their stance is, Black Rifle's stance is, we're not trying to profit off of this tragedy. And I think that's okay. Like, I'm okay. I can separate in my mind individuals versus corporations. An $80 million corporation like Black Rifle, they've got responsibilities to their shareholders. I don't know if they're public, but to their investors and to themselves and to all their employees, the entire machine, not to get involved with a bunch of nitwits, especially a nitwit that would post an affiliate code on this situation. So they made a press release. Now, how they did the press release, I agree with that. Hey, let's not be a...
All right, we'll talk about this 45. Let's see. Why does pro-life end in the womb, then pro-death guns take up the killing of innocents? Okay, well, I am not for the killing of innocents, whether it be abortion or with guns. Why would I ever be okay with killing anybody that's innocent? I mean, I just came off of a little conversation here where I'm like, as long as you're not hurting anybody, do whatever you want to do to be free. As long as you're not hurting anybody, right? If somebody comes at me intending to do me harm, I'm going to defend my life with my firearm. Not only do I have every legal right to do that, every constitutional right to do that, but I am also okay to do that according to the word of God. Now, you may or may not believe that, but as a man of faith myself, I'm okay with it. Okay? But I don't think, and this is my opinion, and that's all it is. My opinion on Kyle Rittenhouse is that he acted in self-defense, that he did not go there to look to kill somebody, that he went into a situation that he was worried about his safety, so he took a firearm with him. But there are plenty of examples before the shooting that happened where he was helping the protesters with injuries. Okay? And I'll leave that at that unless we're going to get into even more of a thing. Broken Patriot, yes, everyone gets out of my rabbit hole, and car stores lock themselves. I don't lock my doors unless I'm going on vacation for an extended period of time. I'm blessed to live in a very safe neighborhood. Well, that's good for you. I'm glad I am not. Armed Archangel, everyone's opinion is welcome in this chat as long as it's respectful. Be disrespectful to others, mods, or owner, and get it on a timeout or silence. If you're really disrespectful, I will straight up ban you. But nobody's being disrespectful yet, so that's cool. Okay? Most of whom have a Trump-Pence banner, mind you. Hold on. I might have gotten that one out of context. Gerald B, most of the time, the keys are in my SUV and the house is unlocked, but I also have 5 dogs. You know what? When I lived in a different area, I had my doors unlocked a lot of the times because it's just more rural. The more rural, that's a hard word to say. The more rural you are, I think the more likelihood you could probably leave something unlocked. However, I live in one of the biggest cities in America, so I'm gonna lock, and in one of the worst spots in that city, so I'm gonna lock my doors. I'm pro-life. I believe life begins at conception. I am pro-gun. I believe that guns are tools used by humans that can choose to use them respectfully or not. A law cannot prevent a gun death any more than it can prevent a back office abortion. 45 lies, and they have a firearm known as a gun. And they have a firearm known as a gun. I might be am I missing something on that? I don't know. Sorry, 45 lies, if I'm missing something on that comment. Broken Patriot, Black Rifle Coffee should rename their company PPHC. Okay. My stance with guns is that the Lord calls me, then it's my time to go. Great. And I know a lot of people like that. And a lot of people in my own church like that. A lot of people who I will talk to them like, hey, right here in the Bible, you know. And then they're still like, nope, don't want it. Okay. What if somebody broke into your house and tied you and your family up and raped your wife and your children in front of you? Do you think it is God's will to have that happen? Do you think that God would want you to stop that if you could? Not saying you can with a firearm, but you might have a chance. Would he be okay with you stopping the raping and the slaughter of children and innocents if you have the opportunity to do so? And their response was, I think whatever God's will is God's will. Well, God, Jesus himself told his disciples, if you don't have a sword, sell your coat and go buy a sword. Why did he want them to have a sword? Didn't he also preach turn the other cheek? Because turning the other cheek is when somebody does you wrong in life, like business or whatever. But having a sword, and believe me, the Romans had a lot of sword control. Commoners weren't allowed to have swords because swords were dangerous weapons that you weren't allowed to have as a commoner. And Jesus told them to go buy swords if they didn't have a sword. Why? To defend themselves from evil that might come their way. Guns kill and guns kill. So does everything else. How about Boston bombing? You gonna ban pressure cookers? Swords? What? How much can you ban? You think that places that don't have a lot of guns have no violent crimes? They have plenty of violent crimes. They just do it in different ways. You can't stop evil. Evil's going to come at you no matter what. All you can do is protect your own self however you can. And the less ways that you have to protect yourself is just not a good idea, in my opinion. All right, so we're getting off on a whole other topic. Riddle girl, exactly. If someone wanted to kill someone, they don't need a gun to do it. That's right. 45 lies. Do guns defend in your mind? Do screwdrivers kill? How about cell phones? Cell phones? Yeah. Cars? Look at the one guy in New York that ran down a whole bunch of people with a U-Haul truck. Was it U-Haul or was it? No, it was Home Depot, right? Sell your cloak and buy a sword. Exactly. I hold God and the Bible in a high view, and I carry a gun 24/7. Scripture is clear on the difference between murder and justified killing. It's clear on defending your life. There are plenty of instances in the Bible where God himself ordered the killing of people and countries. Mass school stabbing in Japan is an example. Thank you, Riddle Girl. Amen to that. Assault knives can't ban evil. You know what? You'd think that they would just outlaw murder already. I mean, why are we in 2020 and still murder is allowed to happen? If it's God will, then don't take Advil when you get a headache. People kill. Guns are inanimate objects. People kill. Okay, gotcha. You can also not ban stupidity. I disagree with. What, banning stupidity?
No, about not taking an Advil when you have a headache.
Okay, pharmaceutical kills. Cain killed Abel with a rock. Yep, we need rock control. I think it was a U-Haul van. I think it was I think there was a U-Haul van one, but I'm pretty sure there was also a Home Depot one. I prefer a Magnum. Oh, I have no idea what that is. Kukri for defense. The sword, the AR-15 of Jesus' day. And you know what? There was a T-shirt, and I was going to share it on the biblical chat. It was a T-shirt that said, and Jesus said, if you don't have an AR-15, sell your coat and buy an AR-15. And I was like, oh, I need one of those shirts. What's up, Eric? I think it was U-Haul. I'm the New York guy. Okay, sorry, Eric. I didn't read your name. Apologize. Hello. How are you? Bikes. I'm a neck cutter. You're a neck.
Don't mess with Irish. You gonna cut your neck.
You gonna slice the throat?
Part of this, but what they did and the way that they did it, I was disappointed in.
I don't know.
The actual press release, which I showed y'all yesterday, was, hey, we're about vets, all about vets. That's who they are. But then they got to the one statement that was actually about the situation. They said, hey, we have no relationship with the Kenosha kid. And people lost their minds. It was tone deaf. I'm going to call it a tone deaf press release. I think they didn't even realize, they being Black Rifle, didn't even realize what this was really about. If their press release was to be about the affiliate code nitwit, they should have mentioned the affiliate code nitwit or said nothing. Now, something y'all don't know about me, most of y'all know nothing about my 9 to 5. I've done years of graduate work in PR. They didn't ask me my opinion, but my official opinion would have been to zip it. Just let it blow over for a couple days. As a corporation, get your ear to the ground on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then have something to say about it. But don't just say, hey, we've got no relationship, but we love vets and we love police. And there's nothing wrong with loving vets. And if you want to love police, have yourself a good time. That's not the point. The point is, I think it was tone deaf and they missed the entire message. Or their message, I think, was at least wrongly focused. And people lost their mind. So Matt Best hollered at me last night after that video hit, and a lot of people hollered at me. It was wild yesterday. I just said a lot of people.
Hollered.
But they did. It was wild on my phone.
Once again, this guy's from Tennessee.
And even on Instagram last night, it went on for almost 6 straight hours. A lot of people, even people with check marks by their name on Instagram, hollered at me. But the one I want to mention to y'all is Matt Best. And people have today hollered and said, Johnny, what was it like? Give me the juicy. Nice guy. Speaks the same language I speak. Done a lot of good for a lot of people and is very much pro helping our veterans, and to that, huge thumbs up from me. Matt's also very polished. He is as media savvy as anyone you will ever meet. And
well, he missed the boat on that
I'm
one.
okay with that as well. Wasn't surprised by that at all. Genuinely nice guy. I would hang out with him tomorrow if I could hang off the back of an ATV like Crispy and light off a flamethrower and get buzzed up on caffeine. I'm in.
You ban.
And I think for me, and Matt said this, let me say this before I get distracted.
I forgot, we're talking about Black Rifle Coffee. I've been off on a
we're not here to profit off this tragedy. Thumbs up from me. He also said, and he was very genuine in this, we try our, and excuse the language, but his words were, I try my damnedest to help folks. And if you look at their track record, they're in process of hiring 10,000 veterans. Again, thumbs up from me. I go back repeatedly to that first press release. I think they pooped the bed. And I also think because of the bro culture thing, they are so removed that they were probably surprised at the reaction from me and from you. Again, my words are disappointed. All right, here's where it goes wild. And again, I can separate out corporations, individuals from corporations. I'm okay with that. But in this case, the faces of those folks, Evan and Matt, and a few others, they are the face of the corporation. The founder, Evan, last night did a press release. Now, it was a verbal press release, an oral press release, but he did it in his kitchen. I guess it was his kitchen. He looked like deer in headlights. It was probably a long day for the guy. I felt bad for the guy. He again said that he is not here to profit off of tragedy. Now, again, and his press release, it was fine. It was totally fine, and I'm a total agreement with not getting into that affiliate code dude. Just, kick that to the curb, erase it. Call that dude, email him, say, hey, delete that thing. I'm fine with all that. Now, here's where I get into having some problems and some questions. I'm going to end today with some questions. They said, Black Rifle, in the very first press release, quote, we do not support legal advocacy efforts. Legal advocacy efforts. We don't support that. But if you go to their Instagram, Black Rifles, and just scroll twice, 2 little scrolls, On August the 2nd, they got right in the middle of some legal advocacy efforts for a bro vet, and maybe a terrible situation. If that guy needs help, I hope he gets the help he needs. Absolutely. That's not the point. But don't say in the press release, hey, we don't get involved, and then just 2 scrolls back, yeah, you're right in the middle of it, and you put your logo right on that post. So I see that, I'm like, which way is it? Again, to quote Allen Iverson, we talking about coffee. It's really not about that. It comes down to who's really in this fight with us. Again, Black Rifle's done a lot more good than they have harm. I want to say that very clearly. There's a few more issues, and then I want to, ask you guys what you think. But it comes down to this. Well, let me say this. I think a lot of what today was about, and people had just spun, emails are rolling in, the internet does what the internet does. They did what they did, and they did some homework, and allegedly, it looks like maybe Evan also has donated cash to multiple Democrats, including the Obama campaign, Tulsi's campaign, Rhino, John McCain, and a couple others. And those have been coming in. Now, I've seen it. I know there are some. I've seen some screenshots where Evan has said, all of those donation things were photoshopped. I saw that. I saw, hey, that was photoshopped. But I've also been on the actual donation websites. I've seen it. I've clicked every single one of them. Again, it's alleged. Now, I want to know, did the guy donate to Obama? I get it as a business. And if you're a businessman in a corporation, yeah, you need to be paying off at fundraising dinners and having good business on both sides of the aisle. But the name of the company is Black Rifle Coffee Company, and every single thing in your feed and everything that you're about is about the 2A community. I don't know who he donated to, but I'd love for him to talk about it. I really would. It matters. It matters. It matters. That we ain't talking about coffee now. If you are donating to, now I don't know about him, but anybody, if they donate to the enemy, we've got to have a conversation about that. You can't fund those that are trying to take our rights away from us. There's also some more stuff about companies.
I would agree with that. Found that shirt while I was at it, by the way. There you go. There's quite a few different designs of that, too. Different people are selling it, just in case anybody was interested in that shirt. I thought it was pretty cool.
That Black Rifle.
Actually, before I do that, let me catch up on chat. I like the Jesus spoof shirts from the 2000s. I don't know which ones those are, Matt. OMG, more people are killed with hands and feet than all long guns combined, including the AR-15 each year. Well, yeah, the AR-15 is a very small amount of people who die from that. Statistically, aren't most gun deaths caused by handguns? Yes, I believe so, if you're talking gun deaths. However, you want to talk about how many people die of guns every year is very small, and the majority of those are suicides. And I'll tell you right now, if you're trying to say that you're going to stop people from killing themselves, that's not going to happen. They'll do it a different way too. It's just easier for them with a gun because it's instant, right? So now they're going to go through a lot more when they try to do that. Black Rifle Coffee donates to Act Blue. Yes, we looked at that. What's the number of suicides per year? I feel like it's pretty up there. Don't forget. Okay, in the 70s, the kids made zip guns, just deadly enough. Wounded
both shooter and target.
Okay, thank you, Riddle. That would have been said if Rittenhouse was wearing a T-shirt with Wrigley's spearmint gum on it. Double your pleasure. These companies say they'll help vets. I never seem a form to ask for help. Yup. Eric, did Kyle own the shirt prior to going to jail? No, he did not. Or did a Black Rifle rep give him the shirt for the photo op? As far as what Johnny B is saying, somebody who is an affiliate, I don't know how this all works, but has an affiliate code, so he has some sort of business dealing with Black Rifle Coffee, gave Kyle the shirt for that photo, took the photo, and then also put the affiliate link with that photo. And I guess he got a kickback for everybody who clicked that photo and went and bought some coffee from that click. That's what I'm understanding. Correct me if I'm wrong. What about the number of suicides? I already read that. This company, read that. Interesting question. Don't know. Riddle Girl, good point. There are big YouTube channels covering the violations, exceptions to the 5th, 6th, and especially the 8th nonstop with scrutiny. Good question, Eric. Won't see a dime from me. I drink something way better than coffee. Well, yeah, apple cider vinegar, right?
And matcha brewed.
And matcha. I have no idea what that is. I wouldn't be surprised if Black Rifle Company Coffee comes out as a leftist gun grabber company, pull the wool over people's eyes. Well, a lot of time, wouldn't be the first. Wouldn't be the first. Lefties are really good at making food stuff. I mean, I love Ben & Jerry's, but I will never buy it again. But if they give it to me, I'm not turning it down either. You like some chunky monkey?
Yep.
Vax overdoses, medical malpractice kills over 1 million a year. CDC says over 300,000 killed by malpractice. Yeah, how many times somebody needs like their left leg amputated and they come out with the right leg missing and the left leg's still there? I have an affiliate link. I have an affiliate link for vape e-liquid. Oh man, I wish I had known about that a long time ago. I don't vape anymore, but I kind of miss it.
Has been invested by and who is managing their wealth. There's some questions about that. There's questions about Sterling Partners. And then these organizations that only donated to, not Black Rifle, but some of these that they may be tied into, maybe donated all of their donations for last year or this year went to the Biden campaign. So it's a lot. Like there's all sorts of nuances in here. But I'm at the end of the day right here saying, why do you say you're not getting in legal stuff, but you're quite frankly in the middle of it? Why not deal with the affiliate guy? And did the face and one of the owners of the company donate to the Obama campaign? That I find dangerous. Again, I'll hang out with Matt tomorrow. Super cool
Blue,
dude,
whatever,
super nice. I
that's
don't
the
think,
one I'm
again, to
really
be clear,
thinking
this
about.
is not Stalin and Hitler. These guys have fought woke culture back when I wasn't even doing this.
Once again,
they stood up against Star.
Once again, we have Johnny B and we have Guns and Gadgets thanking him for his service. Okay, Bikes and Bullets, if you're still in the house. I know you're a vet, right? Do you still thank somebody for their service? And this is an honest question. If they're a turncoat, like Benedict Arnold was a great, thank you very much, Benedict Arnold, for all your services, even though you turned on your own country and I have no idea. I'm just questioning on that one. Feel free to share it at OMG if someone vapes. Heck yeah, man. In fact, you got a wrench, so more than welcome to drop that link in at any time, and we will promote it too, because I am a big believer in vaping and getting off of the cancer sticks by doing so. This t-shirt story, another nothing burger t-shirt? Oh, okay. It might be just another distraction. eBay, be right back. I'm listening on a clean-a-thon. So, no BS, the leg thing happened to my brother's dad. Oh, man, I'm sorry about that. OMG, $8.49 for 120 milliliters. That's a good price. Remember, we thought $10 for 120 milliliters was a good price. How's your strawberry custard? Because I do like me some strawberry custard. I can puff. I'm in Texas. I can't puff. I'm in Texas. What? You can't vape in Texas? I call BS. You can vape in Texas. You might not be able to vape. You might not be able to vape the THC, but you can vape. I've never had a vape THC. I plan on doing it real friggin' soon, but no, I vaped the nicotine. It's a code, okay?
Yeah, share the link to the site and the code.
Yeah, share the link to the site. Show me the site. I'll freaking plug it at the beginning of our chats. I'll bring up the website, show the juices, and then we'll plug the affiliate code. I'm not even joking. Big time believer in vaping, getting off of cigarettes.
Starbucks. They stood up against a lot, and they've done a lot for. This is not Stalin and Hitler. These guys have fought woke culture back when I wasn't even doing this. They stood up against Starbucks. They stood up against a lot, and they've done a lot of good for a lot of people. This is not the enemy, and I'm not into cancel culture. However, I'm left with some questions. I want to see how this whole donation thing turns out. It might have just been a fundraising. It might have been a golf tournament. Who knows what it was? I'd like to hear more about it. I think
stars
that is
aren't rotating
a fair
anymore.
question, especially when the name of your company is something that I hold very dear to what I believe. It's not a hobby. This is about our way of life and preserving this republic.
I have fun with the Second Amendment.
I want to say this. Let me just end right there. I do want to say it is about preserving the republic. I had more notes in there, but I just want to say it is about preserving our way of life. Like just today, the media is finally talking about the taxes that are going to go against us and these things. And I think this matters. Tomorrow I want to talk about these in Biden's tax plan that's very much against us. That's why this matters. A lot of Instagram folks today were saying, y'all need to quit talking about coffee. And then a whole lot of celebrities came out and said, hey, we're with you, Brovets. And other Brovets said, Brovets United. I get that. I totally do. But again, third time I'm left with questions to anyone that is against these, our way of life, this republic and what we stand for. Surrounded by a pile of hot brass from my cold, dead hands. Bye.
I don't know about that, Johnny B. Johnny B. We'll see. People are talk. People are a lot of talk. And this boy pumps out a whole bunch of shall not comply merch and then complies on a daily basis. Daily basis. I'm no better. I put on a mask. It's easy. It's definitely easy. So I shouldn't even give him crap over that. But I'm also not repping shall not comply merch. You know what I mean? Okay. Let's see. Where did I leave off? I seen a Crantum vape pen. November 30th, weed is legal here, is it? Nice. That's pretty freaking soon, bro. I like the dabs better than the vape oil stuff. No idea what the dabs are. Crantum is CBD. Budgetvapors.com. Promo code VAPE saved me. Only on BVE liquid. Okay, Riddle Girl, get all of that in line. We will have a full-on ad for it on Friday.
I'm actually putting in it as a bot timer.
There you go. It's going to pop up all the time now.
Every 15 minutes. Every
15 minutes we'll be promoting that. I want to go smoke a doobie in front of the AZ Capitol. I don't know if you're going to smoke a doobie. Yes, I mean, do you think they don't really care that you get a smoke now? They really didn't care. That it was, people were smoking all the time. They didn't care about that. You could have done it before. They probably wouldn't have done much about it. I mean, weed might not have been technically legal, but it's not really heavily prosecuted either. You know what I mean? I want to go Crantum more in the coffee plant family. Crantums are more in the coffee plant family. Okay. And with that, 2A for 2K giveaway on my channel. There you go. We could do that one too. Dabs equals THC concentrates. Okay. It is legal now. Is it legal now? Here in Arizona? No, apparently not until November 30th, which is in like 7 days. Okay. So here's one of the places that you can buy this shirt. There's a plenty of different designs. From the pictures that I saw, I liked this one. But there were plenty of different ones. If you just type in a search, AR-15, Jesus, buy one, or the actual biblical verse, which I think is Luke 23 something. Why it doesn't have it on the shirt, I don't know why. Maybe that's one thing I don't like about the shirt. I like the Bible verse on the shirt, so I wouldn't buy this one, actually, because it doesn't have the Bible verse on it. Black Rifle Coffee's Twitter page. Here's this. They did come out with their controversy statements here. I don't know how long this video is.
So Evan joins
13 minutes.
Via phone. He's the CEO of Black Rifle Coffee.
Here's the thing. I've pretty much made up my mind on this. I'm not going to buy them, but it's not because necessarily that. It's because I don't need to, right? I did enjoy their decaffeinated, and I will say once again, they probably have the best decaffeinated coffee you can find, that at least that I have found. I have found personally is the best decaf coffee. Okay. But if you're going to put money into this company because you're thinking that they're pro 2A, that has been called into question. And not And oh, look at this. Followed by Irish USMC vet and the High Desert Pioneer. I'm gonna have to. I don't know if you guys are still watching, but I'm gonna have to message you guys privately. Did you know about this? And I know Irish is a vet, obviously, because it's in his name, and HDP is as well. If you think that you're going to support a company who's going to support you, they're not supporting Kyle Rittenhouse. Sure, they don't have to profit on it. They could say that all proceeds is going to go help some organization. How's that? Could we do that? It doesn't even have to be Kyle Rittenhouse. It doesn't have to be the victims of Kyle Rittenhouse. Air quotes, right? It doesn't have to be anything. Put it to cancer survivors or something, right? That way you're not profiting on it. But you've basically come out and said to somebody that, you know, is really in the news right now for protecting themselves, allegedly.
BlackRifleCoffee.com. And they do have good coffee. Evan, thanks for joining us. How you doing today, my friend?
There we go. Sorry about that. Make up your own mind with that, though. I probably won't buy them again for that reason. It's just what I don't... They could have done that a lot differently, but it's not just that. It's also the main takeaway for me, though, was the donations to charitable events and the fact that even Johnny B brought up the fact that they have donated to political causes before or have had done things for political causes before. Okay, that's all I've got with the Black Rifle Coffee. Let's move on. Let's see. The vape pen carts are 40 a milliliter around here. Wow. Don't these guys donate to the DNC too? Well, they allegedly donated to Obama, and there's another organization, Blue something. I don't remember. It was on this. Where was it? Let's see. Nope, not there. Here we go. Act Blue. Act Blue is the other place that they supposedly donated, which is an American nonprofit technology organization established in 2004 that enables left-leaning nonprofits, Democratic candidates, and progressive groups to raise money for individual donors on the internet by providing them with online fundraising software. And that goes to BLM and a few other places, supposedly. I don't know. I don't know anything about that. Seems like, let's see, the Black Rifle Company. Seems like there's a whole list of left-wing things they donate to. 1,000 milliliter carts in Cali. I like flour and wax, though. Okay. We buy Dunkin' coffee here. Right? Wife really likes the French vanilla. It is pretty good. All right. Anti-lockdown patriots in New York, New Jersey. And, get this, also in California. Can we just have a moment of praise and applause for the people in California, New York, and New Jersey? I know Eric is from New York, right? NY. Wow. Can we support these people? With blue state governors yet again clamping down on the Rona restrictions over the holiday to punish Trump supporters for the president's refusal to concede, citizens have begun yet again to revolt in places like New York and New Jersey. The claims regarding new spikes came only a matter of weeks after supporters of Democratic nominee Joe Biden gathered at a super spreader event in urban virus hotspots throughout the country to engage in loud cheering and singing. According to reports, crowds in some places may have even passed around champagne bottles and marijuana joints. Was it legal? Once again, whatever you do, if you're not hurting anybody else, I don't really freaking care, man. That's why I'm fine with cannabis. Yet Democratic governors, including California Gavin Newsom, New York Attorney Andrew Cuomo, New York's Andrew Cuomo, and New Jersey's Phil Murphy, seem to have selectively targeted most red districts to subject to the most draconian of lockdown orders during Thanksgiving holiday and beyond. Wow, I did not know that they were locking down like the redder areas of the state. That's interesting. If that can be proven, if you're picking certain places as more restrictive than others, And usually the cities are the more left-leaning, so they would be the more populated areas. So if you're going to say, well, shut down rural America, even, in New York, rural New York, which there is such a thing, you're going to shut down the small towns in New York State because they're Trump-leaning, but you're going to keep New York City open? I definitely have a problem with that. Over the weekend, some freedom-loving citizens pushed back, including a handful of Trump supporters who confronted Murphy while he appeared to be dining maskless in a crowded New Jersey restaurant with his family. The Garden State governor appears to be dining in close corners with a party of at least 6 people, feasting on steak and wine, and none donning the face coverings at the table. Nonetheless, a man who identifies himself as Murphy's son asked the women filming to put their mask on as they approach. The son also accused the women of being drunk, an accusation they deny, while launching into profanity-laced critique of Murphy's Rona policies. "You're such a D-word," says one of the women, as reported by the Daily Caller. Murphy's eldest son, Josh, formerly a Tufts University student, was charged with underage drinking in 2018 when he was 20 and had a prior police record. I don't care about that. In a separate exchange over the weekend, business owners in Buffalo, New York, angrily confronted a health inspector who arrived as they were waging a protest against the state's orange restrictions recently imposed to shut down several types of establishments, including gyms and restaurants. "It's private property. Go get a warrant. You are not wanted here," said some of those gathered at the Athletes Unleashed gym where they had gathered, according to the Liberty Beacon. This right here gives me a little hope. They are Nazis. Take your commie shit elsewhere, shouted someone. According to the Buffalo News, nobody was cited in the incident. The health inspector arrived roughly 20 minutes after it had begun with 3 sheriff deputies in tow. Tim Howard, the sheriff of Erie County, where the protest transpired, was one of several to indicate he would not enforce Cuomo's lockdown demands when it came to celebrating the holidays. Okay, so as far as I'm getting, though, that's just for the holidays. So when it comes to Thanksgiving, he's going to look the other way. What about all the other days? How about you're a sheriff? How about upholding the Constitution? Where in the Constitution says that you have the right to assemble, but only if there's not a pandemic going around? Tim Howard, I already read that. But business owners reportedly plan to continue protesting outside the home of one pro-lockdown county executive. The hypocrisy of the Democratic leaders has been a large part of the problem. As Buffalo bartender Tim Walton observed the Rona pandemic, nobody is sitting around saying this isn't real. But in the wake of news about 2 new vaccines that are poised to be administered soon, many see little more than political motivation and retaliation in selective targeting, which has included threatening to revoke business licenses and shut off utilities. Meanwhile, the Democrats allowed mass gatherings to proceed throughout the summer as activist groups engaged in race riots and BLM protests. It was no problem for people to come out to them, said the owner of the gym, who identified himself to the Buffalo News. Newsom created a major scandal in California after celebrating a maskless indoor birthday party with a large gathering, including health officials and lobbyists, at Napa Valley's Farmed French Laundry restaurant. Others include Illinois Governor Perkitzer have come under fire amid allegations that they would ignore their own mandates by celebrating Thanksgiving. Time to rise up, man. The mayor elected in 2018 has similarly tried to talk her way out of scandals after photos of her getting a haircut, this is in Illinois, amid lockdowns getting posted on Facebook in the spring after reports that she had dispatched Chicago law enforcement to guard her home while allowing businesses to get ransacked and plundered during the race riots. Rise up. All right, here we go. This one's about California.
As coronavirus cases continue to soar in California, some residents of the state aren't happy with the new COVID-19 safety regulations. California Governor Gavin Newsom issued a stay-at-home order to begin last Saturday night to try and take control of the increasing numbers. Just yesterday, nearly 14,000 coronavirus cases were recorded in the state and another 60 deaths. But some people aren't too happy with the stay-at-home order that the Democratic governor issued, especially Trump fans who have taken to the streets after curfew kicked in at Huntington Beach to protest against them. Take a look.
That's a lot of people. I'm surprised. And I believe in California it's a curfew as well, right?
I'm wearing a mask because half my face is ugly or something like that.
This is over the weekend too, I believe.
It comes just days after Gavin Newsom had to apologise to his California state after he was caught on camera dining at a confined indoor space without wearing a mask or social distancing. He was slammed by many people for contradicting what he's been asking Californians to do.
And as soon as I sat down at the larger table, I realized it was a little larger group than I had anticipated. And I made a bad mistake. Instead of sitting down, I should have stood up and walked back, got in my car, and drove back.
You just got caught.
To
That's the only
my
thing you're
house.
sad about.
Instead, I chose to sit there with my wife and a number of other couples that were outside the household. And you can quibble about the guidelines, et cetera, but the spirit of what I'm preaching all the time was contradicted, and I got to own that. And so I want to apologize to you because I need to preach and practice, not just preach and not practice. And I've done my best to do that.
So what do you think about that? California, man. New York, New Jersey. They're raising up. They're tired of the lockdowns. They're tired of you telling me I can't open my business. I'm glad. I mean, I wish they all would have done that when this first happened. When they first said we're locking this down. We don't lock the country down. We don't stop the economy because we have the sniffles. But, you know, everybody believes what they're told in the fake news, right? So you hear 200,000 deaths in America. And you're like, oh my goodness. Yeah, we got to shut down the country. Nobody questions that. Why? The weatherman's not even right. You know, and I don't even think the weatherman's trying to be dishonest, let alone people that are on the news that might or may not have an agenda and now are pushing that there's 200,000 deaths. However, we've had many reports that we're counting people who died in car accidents in that. People who fell off of a ladder who were counting in that. Even George Floyd was tested positive after he died that he had the Rona. So I'm sure he's been counted in the Rona deaths by now as well. 200,000. 200,000 people died that tested positive for it when they died. Doesn't mean that's how they died. All right. I heard Beverly Hills, aka Hollywood, isn't getting locked down. Rules for thee, but not for me. There you go. Eric says exactly. Do as we say. Minion. I had Gorilla Glue cart, all flavors, under the sun. Gorilla Glue has a flavor. What? But only medical now. Pricey. Bootleg Cali carts were good. Bikes. There was no follow-up to that story either, as far as I'm aware. The city/county will just revoke their business license. That will be all. Wow. The cereal carts.
Cartridges, the vape cartridges is what they're talking about.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I never did the vape cartridges. I was always one that would build my own gear. I did a lot of RBAs. Yeah. It's been a minute. I have to remember what they were called. Yes, they were good cereals. Missed those days. BLM and antics. 10 p.m. curfew. In Dallas, both party think they won. I didn't vote. They are psyched, but also I'm not on record voting. You better check that. You might have voted without knowing about it. Our demon rat governor put restraints under a 9 o'clock curfew. Oh, in Maine? Nice. That place you wanted me to go that's cold? Nope. I'm sorry to hear that, Gerald. Look at his shit-eating grin. Newsom? Yep. Newsom needs to be paraded around in a convertible limo. Via 1963. Gotcha. The guys are demon. We don't quarantine healthy people. You know? The Pelosi crackhead son, he looked like a demonic mega church preacher. Ironically, he's talking about preaching. Dominion put these fucks in all dims and Rhino need Gitmo. Tell me how you really feel there, Matt. The weatherman isn't right in Phoenix. Nope. They also told us mandatory mask. They will... Yeah, oh, really? Live free, bro. Live free. They will try to lock down under a guide of criminal reduced watch. They will try to lock down. Okay. Our CDC director says they died with the COVID. Yeah, most deaths were at nursing homes. Wear a thong as a face mask. I'm doing it next week. You know, you could get one of those strap-on masks. You know, get the leather one so it's not, you know, it's actually a face covering, because there are places around here that says proper face covering. In order to come into my store, you need to have your nose and your mouth covered, because people were going in with the cutout. It was a face mask, but they cut it out. So they had to put up a sign saying what a face covering was. I have seen what their version of a face covering is at the sex store. It's called a strap-on. If you don't mind a big dildo wagging around every time you move your head, I think it'd be hilarious. And if you do that, send me pictures. I will post it. Unless you're afraid to. Strap-on mask. I'm telling you. GOP Senator abandoned Trump as legal team makes its case in court. Several Republican officials have called on the President Trump to allow Democratic nominee Joe Biden to begin the transition process, even though Trump's legal team is still making its case against the election results in court. This week, Senator Kevin Crambit became the most recent Republican senator to urge Trump to begin cooperating with the Biden's transition team while also defending Trump's right to exhaust his legal options. It is past time to start a transition, to at least cooperate with the transition, Kramer told NBC on Sunday. I'd rather have a president that has more than one day to prepare should Joe Biden end up winning this, but in the meantime, he's just exercising his legal options. Well, okay, you know, I'm not horribly against that. Senator Pat Toomey, although if you do that, that's definitely going to send a sign. So I can kind of see why Trump wouldn't want to, right? Senator from Pennsylvania went even further and called on Trump to concede and accept the outcome of the election after a federal court dismissed the Trump campaign's lawsuit in his state. In Michigan, GOP Representative Fred Upton said Trump needs to admit he lost the election. It's over, Upton told CNN on Sunday. The voters have spoken. No one has come up with any evidence of fraud or abuse. Check out Steven Crowder. He did a whole week last week on the evidence of the corruption, the evidence of the manipulation, especially in Michigan, where in Detroit, 0 registered voters voted. 0 in one area. However, they had 100% turnout. And 97% of these turnouts that weren't registered, these are, you know, ones from the mail, 97% went to Joe Biden. And that was like 150,000 votes, which is what he's short by, I believe, in Michigan. Having failed to even make a plausible cause of widespread fraud or conspiracy before any court of law, the president has now resorted to overt pressure on state and local officials to subvert the will of the people and overturn the election. Romney, we're all fans of Romney here, said in a statement last week, it is difficult to imagine a worse, more undemocratic action by a sitting American president. Well, we are not a democracy, so screw you, Romney. Cusack, I think is his name. Republicans either in lockstep with Trump or they're afraid of him. Former Ohio Governor Cusack claimed that many of his fellow Republicans are either in complete lockstep with President Trump or they're afraid of him. I don't know why they'd be afraid of him. In an interview with NPR, Cusack said the reason many Republicans won't speak out against Trump's alleged allegations of voter fraud is because they're either agreeing with him or they've been bullied into silence. I would say they probably agree with him. I know I agree with him. I've seen some evidence of voter tampering, and I would like it to be looked into seriously. I would like every vote that was counted by a Dominion voting machine to be counted by a human. You have Republicans sitting next to him. You have Democrats sitting next to the person. The person sees what name is on the ballot, puts it in a pile. You do that throughout and just negate every single vote that was casted on this machine and recount it. Recount it with a person and never use that machine again. We've done this for a century now without the machines, at least, and we're still able to determine a winner the night of the election for most of it. I mean, Reagan, the first Bush, Clinton, Obama, we were all first night, right? Even Trump in 2016, first night. And some of those weren't even with machines. Okay, that's enough of that rant. Cusick said Trump's refusal to concede is absurd. There should be a total and complete cooperation between the Trump administration and the incoming Biden administration in a variety of ways in which to deal with the distribution of the vaccine, a whole series of issues going forward, he continued. Former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie made a similar comment this weekend when he called Trump's legal team a national embarrassment. Coming from Chris Christie, that's something. Elections have consequences, and we cannot continue to act if something happened here that did not happen. Christie accused Trump's lawyers, namely Rudy Giuliani, Jenna Ellis, and until recently Sidney Powell, of making bold allegations to the press without offering evidence to back them up in court. They don't do it in the courtroom. Christina said. It must mean the evidence doesn't exist. Giuliani and Ellis distanced themselves from Powell this weekend, releasing a statement that clarified Powell's independent role. Sidney Powell is practicing law on her own. Giuliani and Ellis said in a statement she is not a member of the Trump legal team. She is also not a lawyer for the president in his personal capacity. Okay. Michigan, Dems certify the election results for Biden despite GOP concerns. Michigan elected officials on Monday certified Democratic nominee Joe Biden's 154,000 vote lead in the state, despite ongoing legal challenges and other efforts by the Trump campaign and supporters to forestall it. It comes amid reports that Trump and his legal teams are facing increasingly stiff resistance from the courts and fellow Republicans with just 3 weeks to go until the Electoral College meets to clarify Biden's victory. So we got 3 weeks. We will definitely do a chat in 3 weeks when that comes back. That clouds the potential path forward, although the possibility of the Supreme Court overturning the unconstitutional policies of a few states or of some yet-to-be-revealed smoking gun evidence of fraud could be a game changer. In Michigan, the Board of State Canvassers, which has 2 Republicans and 2 Democrats, confirmed the state's results on a 3-0 vote with 1 GOP abstention. Wow. And lastly is, I forget who did this now. Was it OMG? Who gave me the Pfizer thing, Riddle? Armed Archangel. Thank you. Thank you. Armed Archangel gave us this one. I haven't had a chance to look into it. I have no idea if this is like an onion thing or not. But we're going to read it. TheHuntington.com. Chief Science Officers for Pfizer says second wave faked on false positive Rona tests. The pandemic is over. Editor's note, we just published an update on the Rona for Long Island and the town numbers. Below story is an expression from a top scientific expert regarding a possible second wave, and this 1 hour, 31-minute interview with another expert in the science and medical fields. In a stunning development, a former chief science officer for the pharmaceutical giant Pfizer said there is no science to suggest a second wave should happen. The big pharma insider asserted that false positive results from inherently unreliable Rona tests are being used to manufacture a second wave based on new cases. A former vice president and chief science officer for Pfizer for 16 years says that half or even almost all of the tests for Rona are false positives. Dr. Yinden also argued that the threshold for the herd immunity may be much lower than previously thought and may have been reached in many countries already. So, I have not gotten the Rona. I've been tested for it twice because of medical things that have come up, and I've never been positive for it. But it also didn't test for if I've already had it. And I think I might have already had it. I'm not exactly sure. It was a long time ago, though. It was probably 2018. It was 2018. It was like the fall, right? The fall or the winter, sometime in the colder months. It was in Ashfork, and me, my wife, and my mother at the time my mother, who was living with us at the time, all got really, really sick. Like the worst flu I've ever had. I don't know if that was it or not. Nobody was testing for it. All right. It was like the first flu that I'd had in 10 years. And it lasted for 2 weeks. It was horrible. And I was like, man, this sucks. I hope I don't have to do this again. But I don't know. Was that the Rona? Yeah, Riddle Girl saying it had a lot of the same symptoms. But it was, at least a year before it was reported to have released. So, I don't know. Okay. I saw a ball sack mask on Facebook. There you go, Broken Patriot. Get that one. Or share a link with it. Heck yeah, man. We have more active cases of the Rona now over the last month than we've had for total numbers we had all summer, says Gerald B. I'm telling you, it's fake news, bro. It's fake. The vape blow out the mask. It's stupid. Yeah, it does. I've done videos on that, but apparently I was wrong. They thought this thing was airborne. It's not airborne, apparently. It's spit-borne, right? So the masks are there to protect you from particles of spit because the Rona doesn't travel on the particles of moisture that leaves your mouth as you speak. It only travels on the particle of moistures that are in spit. I'm not a doctor. I don't understand how that would work, but I mean, that's what I've been told.
Okay, so get this. I had to go get some staples removed from my stomach. And the nurse sat on the other side of the room and said, I'm going to stay over here while we talk. Please don't spit on me. And that was, and she actually explained to me that it was based on spit from your mouth. And that when you talk, you sometimes spit and you don't mean to. And that's why she was just wearing a face shield and not a mask. Yeah, a lot of more people are wearing the face shields now instead of the mask. I don't know. I've never heard of anything like that. But at the same time, I'm not a scientist or a doctor. Do not take medical advice from me. If it was Trump, I'd toss Biden the keys and say, YOLO, Cuomo. Each vaccine equals 1 vote, 18 and up, prisoners included. Biden will be arrested at transfer along with all the swamp if not elected soon. If Biden gets into office, all these things. We've already seen how the stuff with Hunter Biden is already getting swept under the rug, bro. And I could have told you back then, nobody's going to go to jail. Are you kidding me? Even if they lost. The political elite, they don't go to jail. When's the last time a political elite ever went to jail?
Name it. Let me know. That's your homework for Friday. When was the last time anybody, well, I guess if it's a senator, there's probably a few. But I'm talking like, you know, in line to be president people. Why would he concede he's going to win? The FISA article is good. I mean, I don't really like Big Pharma, but I mean, I guess it's fine. Powell is working for We the People. The only thing is her case and Trump's case ran together, but her case has Republicans in it that are crooks also. Yeah, don't you ever forget the Republicans can be just as crooked as Dems. Just because they have an R by them name doesn't mean anything. It's the whole right versus left thing. Every flu/cold/bug is a Rona. I got respiratory bug from Iranian at a vape shop. Ooh, that sounds bad. And Broken Patriot with the ballsy back. Hold on, I gotta click on this. I've got to click on this. Where is it? Copy link location. Okay.
Oh my god.
There you go. It's sold out though. That's sad. Look at the expression on that one, huh? I don't know. It could use more hair. I guess you could apply some yourself. I mean, I wouldn't do it with real. I'd find some like synthetic stuff just because that's nasty. But I'd like to see a little more sag in it too. You know what I mean? A little more sag. We got a vulva face mask as well, huh?
Yeah, this lady made her own though, but it's really, really out there.
Out there, huh? Too bad that one's out of stock though. Oh boy, yeah, that's something. She knitted that. Oh, apparently my ad blocker don't like it. Bry, 2018, we had the same thing. Sickest I've ever been. Couldn't move out of bed for 5 days. Went through all 6 of us twice over the 4 weeks. Yeah, ours was 2018 too. That's crazy. I think that's what it was. I wear a welder's mask. There you go. The Kid Diddler, Secretary of State. He went to prison. Secretary of State. Kid Diddler. Names, bro. Names. I'm not good. I haven't always been politically active. Bikes and bullets. Every year, like clockwork, 14 to 15 million cases of tuberculosis, I'm guessing. 1.4 to 1.5 million people die from it each year. Tuberculosis has been a pandemic for 100 plus years for the criminal thinkers. Arthur Morgan died of tuberculosis. It was very sad. Arthur Morgan being from Red Dead Redemption 2, for those people who don't know that. This is all part of the Great Reset. I could agree with that. Dragon Ghost 88. The right wing is becoming into something like ISIS in Syria. Kill all who disagree with me is right. I am definitely not down with that, Dragon Ghost 88. As I said, I voted for Trump. I do not want Biden in there. But as I said before and many times, I do not support Trump in all of his things. I am not a Trump Trump fan. He can do no wrong. 3D or 4D chest and QAnon and all that stuff. No, he's a guy who I disagree with a lot, especially when it comes to taking the guns first and due process second. That's not what the Constitution says. It's not what we were brought. Okay, I got to change this because this is starting to become distracting. All right. Let's see. Yeah, but I'm not a fan of the right versus left. I am into freedom though. I'm in the freedom of you do whatever you want to do that's constitutional, right? And doesn't hurt anybody. Shit, I don't care if it's a law or not. If you're not hurting anybody, do whatever you want to do. You want to make a whole bunch of pipe bombs? Make pipe bombs. Don't hurt anybody. If you hurt somebody, then I'm going to have an issue with it. But at the same time, how am I going to stop somebody who wants to hurt somebody with a pipe bomb? They're not hard to make. Right? you can make a gun pretty easily. Reminding myself that Broken Patriot is giving away an 80% paperweight that's aluminum on his channel. 2K for 2A. 2A for 2K. Something like that. Oh, sorry, Broken Patriot. I think it's 2A for 2K. He's giving away this 80% paperweight made out of aluminum when he reaches 2,000 subscribers. I believe he's at 1,400-ish, right? So pretty close, getting there. And that might be an illegal thing to do by the time you... Hopefully you get there soon. That's all I'm saying. Hopefully you get there real soon. Let's see. Das Good Bra. Another Arthur Morgan ruled. I did like him. At first I was like, I don't know. I'm a John Marston guy. I grew up on John. Well, I didn't grow up on John Marston. I played as John Marston the first. Well, not even the first game. Red Dead Redemption 1. Absolutely love that game. One of the best games I've ever played. Definitely the best game in my opinion. Red Dead Redemption 2. I would still say it's really good. Is it as good as Red Dead Redemption 1? Oh, it's a tough call. That's a real tough call. I don't want to say because I don't really know. I haven't made a decision on that yet. However, when I first started playing, I was like, who's this guy? I don't want to play as this guy. So I would just hang around camp and do all the John Marston missions and listening to John, because I know the story of the guy who voiced John Marston. He basically is John Marston, right? He came into acting, voice acting. He did the one thing, which is like the best thing ever, one of the best voice acting in a video game ever, and then just walked away. He could have had a great career in that, but he didn't like Hollywood. He didn't like the kind of people there, so he said, you know what, screw that. I'm not about to do that, and went off and lived on his farm and his ranch. I forget what, I think it's a farm. All right. And then, I mean, luckily he likes the fans. Either that or Rockstar paid him a ton of money because he came back for the sequel. I was so excited. I do wish that Abigail had been the same person and Uncle, because there was a lot of Uncle stories in that game that would have been nice to have the same actor, but he might have passed. I don't even know. And I would have liked to see more about Landon Ricketts and maybe some other people in there. But it's difficult. So anyway, that's my Red Dead Redemption stuff. Uncle is the Red Harlow from Red Dead Revolver. Is he? I've never played Red Dead Revolver. That's the first game. I think I've watched some of it on YouTube, but it is a really old game, and it's definitely not the same kind of thing. That was before Rockstar bought them out, I believe. I could be wrong. Or did... No. They bought them out. Yeah, no, Rockstar did own it at the time. It was just kind of different. It was more of an arcade-ish thing. Anyway, guys, that's all I got for you. Once again, don't forget there is descriptions down below. And if this is the first time you're viewing my channel, let me tell you a little bit about them. First, we have an alternative to Super Chat. If you like my content so much, you just want to throw your money at me, but you want me to have 100% of what you donate, that is the link that you want to do that. The Super Chat here is great, but YouTube does take their 30% cut. Next, we have Adam Lawson's Blessed. That's the song that comes on before I come on live. If you like that song, go check it out. That's the link to where you can find it. Next is all the causes I believe in and support. If you're looking for a cause to believe in and support, these are the ones that I recommend. Justice for Cannon, the 5-year-old boy who was shot in the head by his neighbor in his front yard. You don't hear about it because the neighbor was black and the kid was white. Kyle Rittenhouse's Defense Fund. If you think Kyle Rittenhouse acted in self-defense, that's where you could donate some money to. Ryan Whitaker was a man here in Phoenix who was shot by police when answering his door at 11 o'clock at night with a firearm. When he recognized that it was the police, he immediately tried to get down on his hands and knees and put his hands up in the air, but the cop shot him in the back, killing him. You can learn more about his story at their Facebook page, Justice for Ryan Whitaker, and donate to his family at their GoFundMe page, linked down in the descriptions below. Next is Projectrecover.org. That's an organization that goes out and looks for lost service members and returns their remains to their families. And lastly is Rally Point Irish. My good friend Irish USMC vet is trying to set up a location in Tennessee where veterans can come and live room and board free while learning a new skill like farming, blacksmithing, or gunsmithing. Next are all the other ways that you can support my content if you so choose to do so. It's not required, but it's very well appreciated for all those who do that. And lastly is all the different places that you can follow me. I'm on BitChute, DLive, Parler, YouTube if you're watching me on DLive, and Twitter. And you all got a Parler and a tweet tonight telling you I was going live. And speaking of when we're going to be going live, from now on, we are switching it for the latecomers. We are switching it a little bit. We were doing it every weekday night. Then I decided we were only going to do it once a week. That's not enough. I need to see you guys more than once a week. So we are now going to have the evening catch-up on Mondays and on Fridays. Guaranteed. Now, if there's like some breaking news I just have to talk about, make sure you're following me on Twitter or Parler, and that way you'll know when I'm going to come on live spontaneously, or click the bell. Ringing the bell down below will also alert you when I go live. So that's a good way to know as well. But expect Monday and Fridays for sure. And Saturday is our Patriot Bible study. If you're into that, I would love to see you all there. Anyway, that's all I got for you tonight. Thank you very much for joining me here. I really do appreciate it. You guys are my favorite subscribers. Until next time, though, make sure to keep your family close. Watch out for that government and live as free as you possibly can in the tyrannical world we find ourselves in. Until Friday, peace.